What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another episode of Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. In the previous part, we ended up going and finally launching ourselves into the ice field after also helping Carla get rid of a rival dozer faction known as the Junker Coyotes. And so we've made it to the ice field. We also got confirmation on how that the ice field really does contain that coral, like that amount of coral that both Air, Handler Walter, and Carla were really like sort of honing in on about and making sure that that this is something we secure. But unfortunately, also Arquebus and Balaam have made their way over to the ice field as well. It's crazy how would they use that cargo launcher, but what are you gonna do, right? You have to do what you got to do to get over there. And so in this episode, we're going to be continuing going through the arena, finishing off the arena encounters, and in addition to that, we are also going to be starting chapter 3 and getting into the story as well. So let's finish out the arena. Nothing too crazy. So now we can actually read V5 Hawkins, because last time I actually didn't read V5 Hawkins. So 5th Squad, leader of the Vespers, the Arquebus Group's augmented human squad. Like Swinburne, Hawkins is a member of Generation 7 and has lost a great many colleagues and subordinates to the progress of science and revolutionizing the surgery. However, he has reached a certain peace within their sacrifices, knowing that his generation of surgery is far safer than those of the past, free of the loss of humanity inflicted on the coral technology generations or the grisly accidents of the interim generation. So, V5 Hawkins, as you can see, just very similar to all of the Vespers. The higher the number, obviously, the higher rank you are, the stronger you are, and obviously he's much very similar to Swinburne, but also obviously ranked higher, so he is a stronger officer. So without further ado, let's fight him.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 20, rank D. Subject AC, reconfig. Call sign, V5 Hawkins. Commencing evaluation.
Alrighty, looks like we're fighting where we fought Balteus, so... Oh, he missed his... Wow, I got... Ow! No, I got wrecked. Jesus. Jesus Christ, man. Holy cow. That was the hardest one we've done so far.
Concluding evaluation. Well done.
My God, dude. I've been recording for like 15 minutes trying to beat this guy. Jesus, man. I'll tell you this. There's some point where you actually have to fight this guy, and he's in the story, and he is not nearly this difficult. Not even close. My lord. Alright. Next arena is Gun 5 Iguazu. Gun 5 of the Red Guns, the Balaam Group's AC squad. A backstreet gambler, Iguazu bet big and lost, and he was forced to undergo experimental 4th generation augmentation surgery to pay back his debtors. In his new life, he quickly began to quarrel with Volta, his often times partner in crime. Iguazu's recalcitrant nature was such that one day he even picked a fight with the hero of Jupiter, who retaliated with such fury that Iguazu never looked quite the same afterward. So, Gun 5 Iguazu, the guy that actually hates us, clearly hates us, we're fighting his simulation version now.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 19, rank D. Subject AC, Headbringer. Call sign, Gun 5, Iguazu. Commencing evaluation.
Alright, I'll tell you his AC looks pretty cool. It's very simple, but pretty cool. But we shouldn't have this much trouble with this guy. Boom, boom. Oh, so close. That would have been awesome to finish him off with the kick. Easy, though.
Target destroyed. Concluding evaluation. Well done.
Now, just as a preface, this second melee weapon, the big circle, is not the melee weapon that I usually have on this guy at all. Just so you know, because yeah, it's way slow. It's very similar to the other one that we have, but the other one's much more accurate, I guess, is what you can call it. All right, our final arena, Rokumonsen. A wandering independent mercenary who shelters with the Rubicon Liberation Front. Well versed in long-lost classical theater, he has a particular interest in ninjas and kabuki, relics of the past that he learned from the Japanese immigrant culture, which now heavily influences his eccentric style. Once, when Rokumonsen was on the brink of starvation, he was rescued by Zai, who offered him food and shelter, and ever since that day, he has been the sworn enemy of those who would do her and her comrades harm. So without further ado, let's fight this guy.
Arena Combat Aptitude Evaluation Program, number 18, rank D, final evaluation. Subject AC, Shinobi. Call sign, Rokumonsen. Commencing evaluation.
Main system activating.
I do really like his AC name, Shinobi. That's cool. Alright. Close. Out. Easy. Not bad at all. We've made it through rank D. Rank D's nuts. No.
Target destroyed. This concludes D rank evaluation. Well done.
Goodness, though, V5 Hawkins was by far the hardest one we fought. Now, I could have probably beaten him way easier if I switched to, like, the pile bunker, but I was stubborn, and I knew I could beat him. I just need to play it really well, and it took me that many tries to do it. This is how this game goes. If you've played any FromSoft game, it's how it goes.
Incoming comms.
Congratulations, you have surpassed rank D. We hope that our aid has helped push you to achieve greater things. All Might exists for all mercenaries.
Alrighty, with that all out of the way, let us go and switch our AC. I think I'm going to switch to the pile bunker one, and then we are going to head off and continue Chapter 3, and start off Chapter 3, excuse me. So without further ado, our first mission that we teased in the last episode, steal the survey data in the central ice field.
Got a job for you, 621. It's a request from one of the Balaam companies.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven. This job comes from our subsidiary, Dafeng. The operation will take place in the central ice fields, Yalmar Mine. We want you to stage an attack on the Arquebus survey camp located there. After digging into the ice field, Arquebus launched survey drones to gather data. Whatever they found, it's sure to contain clues as to the whereabouts of the coral convergence. Put simply, your job is to seize the data. We're counting on you, Gun 13.
Yes, and I just realized, before I forget, obviously we have to steal some data for Balaam from Arquebus, but I'm actually going to go and do our OS tuning. That's one thing I completely forgot to do. So, I think the one thing I'd like to do is definitely for our repair kits. I'm going to increase that. We have 12 more, right? Boost kick, manual aiming doesn't. I don't think that's really that bad. Trying to see. Melee would be nice. Maybe you just do a little bit of this, right? We have those. Let's see. Let's get that, and then we have 5 left, right? So we can do like, yeah, why not that? And then we can do kinetic weapons. I think that's pretty solid so far. Okay, I think we're good on that. Without further ado, folks, let's sortie and steal the survey data for Balaam.
621, are you still hearing things? Tell me if it happens on the job. I'll make adjustments.
Main system activating combat mode.
Commence mission. Extract the data from the birthed survey drones, then get out.
Alright, not necessarily a stealth mission, we just gotta...
Huh? An intruder?
Solo HD. Must be an independent merc.
Taking Balaam's money, no doubt. Intercept!
621, eliminate obstructions as you see fit. Remember that the data is your priority.
So, first terrain data survey. Observation data extracted from a survey drone contains an analysis of a surface level scan of the central ice field. Sonar's picking up something strange. Whatever it is, you can't miss it. Some kind of massive cave, perhaps. How could there be a cavity underneath this vast sheet of ice?
Very interesting. What could be this?
As you can see, this place is really important for finding out what that coral convergence is happening. Nice. Okay. Just gonna get rid of everything here, just so I don't have to deal with getting shot at. Alright. Very nice.
That makes 2.
Observation, coral density survey. So I'm not going to repeat the first part. No major changes in the values compared to readings recorded in the Belize region, likely to be cinders from the fires of Ibis. Inert coral readings make up 80% of the total. Analysis underway, the remaining 20%.
Remnants of the fire still drift in Rubicon's atmosphere. Trails of residual coral, like the one we passed through during our journey here.
Yep. Doesn't surprise me if you think about radiation in general. I mean, look at Chernobyl. Oh, which, by the way, we have to beat this guy for a log. There, easy. I mean, you can see how that boost kick's coming into plan. But yes, with the coral, definitely, you can see, I mean, think of Chernobyl is what I was saying. When it comes to Chernobyl, I mean, you cannot, that is place is uninhabitable for like 20,000 years because of the nuclear explosion that happened there. However many years, I think it was in the 80s or the 70s, right?
That's 3.
Most of these core observation data installation survey. Most of these installations appear to have been built by the Planetary Closure Administration, the PCA, after the fires of Ibis. They must have been made redundant by the subsequent completion of the closure system. That said, with a bit of elbow grease, we might be able to repurpose these old ruins.
Even the Rubiconians have forsaken this lifeless place.
I think Coral's involved with everything, if you think about it. Last piece of data. Right. Ow. Probably not bad to repair here. Oh, come on, I missed. Boom, boom. Okay.
This should be the last one.
Observation data. Offshore survey. Our video data of the ocean region has a noticeable gap. Stranger still, this hole in our records remains regardless of how many drones we sent. What's going on here? Some kind of camera interference?
Who knows what's out there on this vast sheet of ice?
You in the AC! What are you doing here?
Looks like their MTs just got home. Shut them down.
Alright, looks like we got a lot of boys to deal with here, so... Ow, ow, ow. Easy.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven! Looks like you ruffled some feathers. Taking their drones back to HQ. I want you to find them and stop them.
Alright, looks like we gotta get rid of more stuff. Alright. Gotta keep it moving here. Get rid of that. This guy. Kick. Kill that guy. As you can see, the thing about the ice field that I like too is there's a lot of it's mysterious because there's not much sound besides the cold and the wind and everything like that. I do like this area. I think it's very like, it adds to the sort of gritty, very monocolor-ish, you know, way that this game is supposed to feel, right? It's a war-torn planet. Color isn't exactly... I'm not saying it's not colorful, but it's definitely much more muted than a lot of games. Alright, as you can see, we're getting a supply Sherpa, so you can tell that there's probably something big coming, and it's not insanely big in terms of, like, difficulty, I would say, but... yeah.
AC! That must be the independent merc. Shut it down before Balaam gets hold of our data!
Eliminate them, 16-1.
Or do I not? Maybe I'm misremembering this mission. No, I'm not misremembering this mission at all. Yep, don't worry about the MT.
Good shit. It's identifying as PCA.
Well, I recommend to stay behind here for the time being. Watch out for the ship. Alright.
Subject guard. They sent an enforcement squad.
Ow.
LC. The PCA's rank and file, and a big step up from subject guard MTs.
Ow, 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 ow. Get rid of those. Gotta get rid of these guys on the ground first because I'm having trouble with them. Now, what's annoying about this is not even the actual guys themselves. It's the fact that there's multiple of them. Alright, that... Okay. So now you can focus... This is the toughest of them, by far. There we go. Alright, so this warship, what we're going to have to do, you see that big catapult? Well, we're going to have to use it here, so watch out. Watch out for those lasers. This building is, like, really good for cover. Yep, so we'll go here, we'll jump, and then we'll just go right for the ship. Ignore the drones. Those guys don't do piss all, so... Go for this. And then just... There we go. I say not worry about the drones and that happens. Alright. Alright, we're back at this point. Yeah, that's my fault. I usually do ignore the drones. I guess I just got wrecked by them this time. That's my fault. We'll still deal with the ship first, and then I'll deal with the drones after. Easy.
Enemy propulsion systems compromised.
It's going to blow. Get clear, 621.
No repair kits remaining.
Cool explosion, by the way.
Looks like the coast is clear. The closure area is SG's jurisdiction. Why send an enforcement squad in a warship? Special mission, maybe? Or was it? Wait. Over there.
Trespassers to Rubicon, this is your warning. Disarm and withdraw from the closure area immediately. Resistance will be regarded as a declaration of war, and you will be marked for termination. The PCA makes no exceptions.
The PCA. They're coming.
Looks like we got a little too eager, 621. Us and the corporations both.
Alrighty, as you can tell, PCA doesn't play around. If...
Hey, Raven. It's me, Rusty. Your old buddy from the Vespers. Haven't talked since we climbed the wall. I'd love to catch up, but I'll cut to the chase. The PCA has deployed its suppression fleet. And now it's laying down the law all over Rubicon. We've already lost several survey bases, and Balam's in a sorry state too. For their part, the Rubicon Liberation Front sees this as an opportunity. If you ask me, they're counting their eggs before they're hatched. At this rate, the Corps, the Rubiconists, and the independent mercs will go down together. I'm sending you a request from the Archibald's group. We could use the wall climbers' help.
one new message.
I see you got a call from V4. I've been contacted as well by the Balaam group. Seems both sides have been forced to halt the coral survey. Check the briefing, 621.
Raven, I've picked up a good job for you too. I know you've established yourself as one of the corporation's preferred mercenaries. But I was hoping you might learn more about the people who live on Rubicon.
Alrighty, so we have figured out how much the PCA doesn't play around. As a government, essentially we have two big corporations, two of their affiliates, Dafong and Schneider, and then we have the big bad government agency, which is the PCA. So as you can see, the PCA has a lot more resources than both Balaam and Arquebus do, is including us for the independent mercs, and obviously the Rubicon Liberation Front is just trying their best to protect their people. So there's a lot of factions going on, but as you can see, if there's one thing that we can all conclude is that the PCA is something that everyone hates right now. So taking a look at all the missions, this is where we have a lot of stuff to do. Now I think at this point, taking a look at the time, I think we'll probably end things off here, and we'll start continuing through Chapter 3 next episode. I know we only did one mission for Chapter 3, but it was a relatively big mission, and taking a look at all these missions, these are all going to be relatively long. They all have relatively good, story content and everything like that, so I'd rather save that for the next time. And so, next time on Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, we'll be continuing through Chapter 3, so I hope you guys look forward to that. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode. I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.
High ambitions and the right mind contain